The grand ballroom of Linmore Enterprises sparkled with golden chandeliers and velvet curtains. It was the annual Founders Legacy Awards night, an exclusive event attended by executives, investors, and media. At the center of it all stood Gregory Blaine, the young, ruthless CEO known as much for his billion-dollar mergers as for his brutal attitude. As Gregory finished his loud, self-congratulatory speech, his eyes locked onto someone at the back of the room, a middle-aged black woman in a faded janitor uniform, quietly sweeping behind the last row of seats. He smirked. "And let's not forget the real heroes," he said, sarcastically. "Like her," pointing to the janitor. "She's been cleaning up after us for years. I'm sure we all appreciate her commitment to mop buckets." A few chuckles echoed, but most faces turned uncomfortable. The woman paused, looked up slowly, and met Gregory's gaze. Her name tag read Miss H. Bell. She looked worn, tired. But something about her calm silence made the room even more awkward. Gregory continued, "Come on up here, Miss Bell. Let's get you a mop-shaped trophy." He meant it as a joke, but to everyone's surprise, she walked to the stage with quiet dignity. Standing beside the smug CEO, she calmly took the mic. "Before I clean up this room," she said, her voice steady, "I just wanted to say one thing." Gregory raised his eyebrows, mocking her like a schoolboy daring a teacher. "Please, enlighten us." Miss Bell looked around the room, her eyes landing on each board member and department head. Then, with a small smile, she said the sentence that detonated like a grenade in the hull. "I built this company, before any of you even walked through its doors." Silence. At first, the crowd thought it was a metaphor. A symbolic statement. But then one of the older board members, a gray-haired man named Richard Geller, suddenly stood up. His face pale. "Wait. Miss Bell, Hattie Bell? As in Harriet Bell?" Gasps spread across the room. "Yes," she said quietly. "I co-founded Linmore Enterprises with William Linmore in 1978. I stepped down in 1995, after handing over control to Gregory's father." Gregory stumbled backward like he'd been struck. "That's not true," he snapped. "You were a secretary back then." Miss Bell reached into her faded work vest and pulled out a yellowed copy of the original incorporation papers, her name, Harriet Bell, signed right under William Linmore's. "I wasn't a secretary. I was the co-founder, CFO, and silent shareholder. I stepped away during your father's merger, under a contract that let me stay on site under a different identity, for legacy oversight." Mouths hung open. Every executive on the board now looked at Gregory with horror. Within hours, the story went viral. Whispers about the janitor founder flooded social media and business news. A video of the moment had been posted by an intern, already racking up millions of views. Gregory tried to spin it as a misunderstanding, claiming that joke was out of context. But the board wasn't buying it. 3 days later, Miss Bell sat in the company's private conference room, this time wearing a sharp navy blue suit. Across from her, the board voted unanimously to remove Gregory as CEO for conduct unbecoming and breach of ethical standards. Then, they turned to her. "We'd be honored," said Richard Geller, "if you would accept the founder's legacy chair. Permanently." She smiled. "I didn't come back for a title," she said. "I came to remind people who built this company, and to make sure no one else gets erased like I was." Gregory was escorted from the building with no fanfare, just camera crews waiting outside. As Miss Bell walked past them, someone asked, "How did it feel being called a janitor?" She paused, then said, "There's dignity in every job, shame only belongs to the ones who forget where they came from."